Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well today. I'm going to talk to you about a dream that I had. Um, it's kind of interesting because I woke up three times in the morning, and each time when I woke up, the dream continued. So basically, what happened in this dream, um, I was visiting my high school friends for who knows what reason, but basically, I was on a sports field. There was probably some kind of sports event happening or something taking place on this field because there were like little tents and people were sitting underneath it for shade. And I remember um, I was in this one like specific area on the field, and on the left, to my left side, I noticed that there were some, they looked like grasshoppers that were coming in, like lots of them. They were just coming in. And I didn't take too much note of this at that time. And then somehow the scene changed. And I realized I was in a different location. And this time I was with my family. And it was like some kind of family gathering. And we were just outside enjoying the nice hot summer area. And to my right side, there was this sudden plague of grasshoppers. They just came storming in, and everyone was trying to take cover. They were literally these grasshoppers were literally like flying into people, and people were like running all over the place trying to take cover because they don't know what's happening and where these grasshoppers just suddenly came from. So the next thing that I noticed was I looked closer at these grasshoppers, and they were yellow and black, and they were probably about this big, but they also looked like those yellow and black wasps. So it's very strange that they would look like that in my dream. I don't know. I think I might know what this means. Okay, and so then the scene changed again, and I found myself to be in an area where my high school friends were. And there was this one girl in my high school, and she would always get like really high marks on everything. She would get almost perfect marks on all her assignments. She was the most smartest girl in the entire grade, probably in the entire school. Like, I don't know how she was able to do it, but she always just got perfect grades. And she's a tall girl, and she has dark long brown hair and brown eyes. Now, I was talking to her for some reason, and somehow the scene slightly changed. As I was talking to her, she was wearing a wedding dress, and she had the veil on, and as I was talking to her, she was giving something to me. And I noticed that what she gave to me, it was like a, if you might know, there's this like little entertainment toy thing. It's like a square or a rectangular like object, and it's full of like very fine metal needles. So like if you press your hand into these needles, it will take the it will like form the shape of your hand, and you can like just leave it somewhere, and it's like a little display thing, or you can like press your face into these needle things, and it will take the shape of your face. So she gave this object to me, and as she gave this object to me, I don't know if it was in the process of her handing it to me or me taking it from her, somehow the veil of her like wedding dress got caught in it, and it there was a piece of material that was damaged on the veil, and she became so upset. Like, she became so upset that this veil is damaged. And I looked closer at it and I was just trying to tell her, I'm like, it's okay, it's not that bad. Like, it's hardly visible. And then other people came to look and, you know, they were trying to see what's happening, what's going on. And she was just so upset. And I'm just like, constantly trying to reaffirm her, you know, saying it's okay, it's not that bad, it's okay, it's like, you know, it's like hardly visible, you'll be fine, it's okay. And she was just not having it. She was like, no, I can't wear this now, it's damaged, it's ruined, it's I can't wear this. It's, you know, she was like visibly upset about this tiny tiny little garment piece of string that was like um, um, that kind of like ruined her veil. And I mean, if you take like, for example, like a hook or something, and you like hook it on one of your clothes, and there's like some random piece of string that's like hanging out, that's basically that what was happening with her veil. And so she was like really really upset about this. So the scene changed, and I was in this room and I was trying to fix the veil, and I realized, well, from like what I was doing basically is I there were these three colors of ribbons: scarlet, purple, and blue. That I was these ribbons that I was busy weaving into the veil. I guess I was trying to repair the damage, but I don't know why I would use those colors, or even use those, you know, ribbons in the veil if the veil itself is like originally completely white. Like, I don't understand. And somehow she was still, you know, upset about the veil that was damaged. She was just upset that she couldn't use it at all. And I'm just like, and that's pretty much the dream. And from what I understand, this dream was about. So I find it very interesting how I dreamt about the two witnesses just a couple of days ago, and now I'm dreaming about these grasshoppers, this plague of grasshoppers. And so this is what I think it might mean. Okay, because when it speaks about the first woe, it speaks about the plague of locusts that will come out of the bottomless pit. And these locusts will have the power to sting mankind for 5.5 months. So after the no, wait, did I say 5.5 months? I meant 5 months. So after these 5 months, the first woe will pass, and then the second woe comes in, which will be the two witnesses. Now, I find it interesting that in my dream, these grasshoppers were literally resembling those wasps, those black and yellow wasps. They were the same size, and they were just going everywhere, and people were getting hit by them. So I'm wondering if that has any kind of like correlation. If that could be an indication that the first woe is potentially headed our way. And then the second part of my dream, where I saw that high school girl, where she was wearing the veil, I feel like she was representing Christ, Christ's bride, because in my dream, well, in reality, actually, she would always get perfect marks, and she would always be like the top students, the top student in the whole grade. And I think the representation in my dream is that if she is to portray the bride of Christ, then that level of perfection, you know, like Jesus wants the bride of Christ to be spotless, right? He wants the bride of Christ to be without blemish. And I think that's why this part of the dream came in like that, using her as an example of the bride of Christ to be spotless. And just because of that one tiny little piece of garment that was just, sticking out of her veil, it basically blemished the entire garment, the entire body of the bride of Christ. And I find that really interesting, how, like how I dreamt this. I don't know what that means. Does it mean that the bride of Christ is not ready? Or does it mean like they need to start paying attention to the details in their life to become more spotless, so that Jesus can take us home? I feel like we are so close, because in my dream, the bride was ready. She was ready to be married. But there was this tiny little mishap in the veil. And now she has to completely wait for a new wedding garment dress thing, because the veil was damaged. So it's very interesting indeed. I think we are definitely heading into that period where the Lord is trying to wake us up, trying to indicate to us that the time for our departure is soon. He's going to collect his bride really soon, but we have to be spotless, and we need to get the things in our life that are not right. We have to make it right with God. Jesus is coming really soon, and he doesn't want us to be left behind. I really wonder exactly how things will play out. I don't know if the rapture will happen before or after these plagues that come upon the earth. We'll just have to wait and see, and know that whatever happens is God's plan. And we will have to just trust in him. If you guys have any kind of input on what you think this dream might mean, I'd love to know. But may you all have a wonderful day, and I will speak to you again soon.